Hello, everyone, and welcome to our information session on our master's programs in clinical exercise physiology, integrative physiology, and molecular and cellular biology. My name is Julie Muir, and I am the graduate admissions counselor here at Benedictine University. Just a few housekeeping notes. The session, as you know, is being recorded. We do have the option for live transcript available for anyone who wants to use this feature. You can find it near the bar with the Q&A. And speaking of Q&A, if at any point you have questions for myself or my colleagues about this program, please write them in the Q&A. I'll be monitoring this throughout the presentation. And depending on the question, we may answer it live, or we will save it for the end. And just want to go through, this is the agenda for today's session. So we'll be doing introductions, then we'll have an overview of the three programs, and then I'll be discussing the admissions criteria, and then how to finance your BenU education, then how to become an Eagle, how to stay in contact with myself, and then again, open up for Q&A. So I'm going to pass this to my colleagues. Let's start with Dr. Sherman. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good morning, I'm Dr. Sherman. I have been here at Benedictine University since 2004. I started as a graduate student in the clinical exercise physiology program and just never left. So the time comes to talk more about the great reach throughout the Chicagoland area that our alumni have in the fields of cardiac rehabilitation and diagnostics.
Thank you. And then Dr. Sarathi.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sarathi, and I have been at Benedictine since 2002. I started as a faculty member up until 2007, up until 2009, and then in 2012, I have been a tenure track faculty member, teaching physiology, anything related to physiology, pathophysiology, to undergraduate students and to graduate students in the MSCEP and MSIP programs.
Great, thank you. And again, my name is Julie Muir. I am the graduate admissions counselor for all the programs in the College of Science and Health. And then we'll just go ahead and get started. Dr. Sherman, if you want to take it over.
Certainly. So our clinical exercise physiology master's program provides you with both the scientific learning as well as the hands-on learning so that you can go straight into the workforce and have a very rewarding career. Our program includes 2 hands-on internships. Most of the time, students are working directly with alumni from our program. As I mentioned, we have a great reach in the Chicagoland area in cardiac rehab and cardiac diagnostics. The coursework that you have, there's an extensive amount of physiology and pathophysiology, which you will share those courses with the students in Dr. Sarathi's program, and that really helps get you a broader exposure and more in-depth learning. And then there's courses that you will have that are very specific to clinical exercise physiology, such as our graded exercise testing, our electrocardiography courses, our clinical exercise testing. So you will be in a great position. Then the demand for clinical exercise physiologists is very high in this region, and employers are constantly reaching out to me, hoping to get more students out there. First, to do internships, because the internships are a great way for you not only to take your learning to the next level and to see, learning how they have to follow the patients in the electronic medical record systems with cardiac rehab. There's guidelines from the American Association of Cardiovascular and Pulmonary Rehab for tracking outcomes for the patients that participate in those programs. So you're learning all of that along with how to communicate effectively over a broad range of patient populations, as well as how to better see, have come to life. You talk about congestive heart failure in pathophysiology. Well, now you're actually seeing patients with those conditions in rehab, or patients that are recovering from having a coronary artery bypass, or whatever the case may be. So that is the beauty of our program, is that there is so much practical hands-on clinical experience, and that we have adjunct faculty that are alumni of the program that are out there working full-time, coming in to teach you for some of your coursework as well. And this shows some of the sites in the area that our students have been at recently doing internships.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sherman. So this is some admissions information. So for the application, you are required to do a goal statement, submit your current resume. We do need 2 letters of reference, your official transcripts, and then there will be an admissions interview. The great thing about this program is it does run in cohorts. And so the next cohort will start in summer of 2023, and it runs about 15 months full time. The courses are available in person. It's about 30 units. Please note that if you are an international student, we'd like students to apply by May 2023, even though we do have rolling admissions for this program. And then also, if you have any international transcripts, it needs to be evaluated by a credential evaluation agency like WES, ECE, or Ed Perspectives. And then the prerequisites for the program are noted in the red box. So exercise physiology, biomechanics, kinesiology, statistics, general chemistry, biochemistry, nutrition, and then anatomy and physiology. And then with that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to our MS in Integrative Physiology with Dr. Sarathy.
Hi. So the MS in Integrative Physiology program was started for students who are looking to go into professional schools in the health programs, any healthcare field, they want to enter it. And they have a gap year because of, because the student wants to strengthen their application to professional schools, making it more competitive by taking upper level science classes, or maybe something happened in their undergraduate years and their GPA is not where they want it to be. So those are all, some of the reasons why we have most of our students coming to this program. And just like the MSCEP, this is also in cohorts. So we have about 25 students who start in fall, and then about 10 to 15 students who can start in spring, and it is over 2 semesters. And there are lots of courses that students can take. As you know, it's an integrative physiology program, so there are lots of physiology-based programs, core classes that students need to take, and then they can also choose from a wide variety of electives, depending on their interests and also requirements of multiple schools, right? So we do offer hands-on labs like gross dissection, which prepares our students really well, and anecdotal and emails that we receive from students clearly tell us that the physiology programs, the electives, and the hands-on gross dissection puts them ahead of many of the students in the professional school. So when they go to the professional school, they can hit the ground running, right? We also have at Benedictine, both for MSCEP, MSIP, and the MSMCB programs. The students are taught by experts. We have expert faculty members with postdoc and postdoctoral fellowships in the areas that they actually teach. We also have them, as Dr. Sherman said, working in the field in clinical exercise physiology. They're also the ones who are teaching. And also, again, one of the very interesting parts of having multiple graduate programs in our department is that we are able to offer a wide variety of electives to our students. So some of our students in the MSIP program who are interested to become future cardiologists can take courses from, that are electives that for them, but then they're core courses for students in MSCEP. So they also take on courses like the graded exercise testing or EKG, and they share it along with the MSCEP students as well. So, and then we have electives such as pathophysiology, immunology, infectious diseases, cancer biology, all of which helps these students prepare for the healthcare profession. And another very important aspect of the program is the diversity of the students. We have a highly diverse student population that attend the program, and they are also from all over the country as well. And there are many local students who also come and join us. And we have affiliations with healthcare professional schools for medicine like DO, and a school with MD, dental, PA, pharmacy and optometry as well. So students qualify and meet the requirements that are set forward by these schools. They will be called in for a guaranteed interview. And you also work with Dr. Sherman, who is also the pre-professional program director, and Ms. Cellular, who's the advisor, pre-health advisor. And between the three of us, we are able to provide experiences like mock interviews and reviewing your statements and providing you feedback on your application process and so on. So the list of partner institutions is given right there. This is to name a few of them.
Actually, Dr. Sarathi, we do have a question. If a student does this program, would they get a committee letter?
Okay, so undergraduate students go through the recommendation committee, right? That's a different, completely different aspect of it. But if you are in the MSIP program, they can get a letter packet, right? Which is, they would get a letter from me as their program director. And it is a requirement in many of the affiliations that they get a letter from me. And then they ask letters from other faculty members who they've had in the program. And so those letters are written to me. So they're submitted to me. And then I put it together as a packet after the student completes their final comprehensive exam. And I also write about their performance in that exam, which kind of culminates, that's the one that culminates their whole experience in this program. So I write about how many exceeds expectations they get, or how they perform there, and also highlight what other faculty members have told about them. So this is a letter packet that we provide for students who are here only for 2 semesters. But if you are already an undergraduate student at Benedictine, they can do the committee letter that, with Dr. DeLegge and Dr. Sherman and all the other faculty members, because then that way they get to know them over 4 years, and it makes more sense for them to do a committee letter. But then for students who are only in the MSIP program at Benedictine, it really doesn't help for them to get letters from faculty members who've never taught them.
Thank you. Okay, now the admissions requirements for this program, similar to the clinical exercise physiology. Again, you need a goal statement, current resume, 2 letters of reference, or again, that 1 committee letter at the undergraduate level, your official transcripts, and then you will have an admissions interview, and the GPA is 2.8. As Dr. Sarathi mentioned, we admit students in 2 cohorts. So we are admitting students right now for spring 2023, as well as we're going to start looking ahead for fall 2023 as well. These courses are also available in person. It's 30 units. It is just a 2-semester programs. And again, for our international students, very similar to clinical exercise physiology. However, if you're planning to come for spring 2023, we'd like students to apply by December 12th, 2022, and then end of July for fall 2023. And then the prerequisites for this program are biochemistry, cell biology, and human physiology. We actually have a great question. What if I'm missing a prerequisite course? Can I still be admitted?
Okay, so we do have many students who do this, right? Who apply, and I go through their transcripts. I give them feedback about what courses they're missing, and also provide them with options on how they can take it either at Benedictine if their time permits, or if they miss the deadline for getting admitted to the undergraduate courses at Benedictine, find other options for them so that they can fulfill that, and they can be conditionally admitted until they complete this requirement.
And then actually, Dr. Sherman, I'm going to bounce that back over to you as well. Can students be admitted if they don't have all the prerequisites?
Depends on the prerequisite. If you haven't had human physiology or anatomy, you're not setting yourself up for success. If you haven't had exercise physiology, my question would be to you is how do you know that this is truly the right program for you? So again, the earlier you apply and start that conversation with us, you could still take courses in the spring semester so that you could start June of 2023. So don't let that be a hindrance. Many times over the years, that's what's happened. The students have gotten in touch with us this time of year, and then we figured out what appropriate courses they had either at their institution or here with us that you can take in the spring, and then that you would get that out of the way and be well prepared to be successful. We want you to be successful. That's why we have these prerequisites.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dr. Sherman. Okay, then moving on, our MS in molecular and cellular biology. So we're taking you back over to Dr. Sarathy.
Okay, so this is our new program, and this is for students who are seeking a career in research in the industry, who know that they want to do hands-on lab work, or also want to go on into academics like genetic counseling and other programs that that require these courses and that requires these skills. Just like the MSCEP program, this could be, giving them a degree that could put them in the marketplace immediately after they complete the master's program, right? The MSIP is, on the other hand, a gap year program, and their goal is to get into a professional school. But here, with a master's degree in molecular and cellular biology, they are well positioned to take on a job as a scientist in a research lab or in the industry and work in the clinical lab science area and so on. So for this program, the curriculum covers, you have courses that are theory based, but then we also have many hands-on lab courses that are particularly designed for this program, where they learn common techniques that are used in molecular and cellular biology. And we have, even though we are not an R1 institution, we do have well-equipped labs, and we do have faculty members who are doing top-of-the-line research and taking students to conferences and so on. So they are well positioned to be working with these faculty members and getting a hands-on lab experience. And they would then definitely advance their career by going into any of the biotechnology programs or sectors if they want to work immediately after completing these programs. Many students who are interested in doctoral programs, this would be a stepping stone for them. If they've not had too many lab courses as an undergraduate student, this would be a way for them to test to see if this is what they want to do for the rest of their lives. And we have two tracks, a non-thesis and a thesis track. And so if we can move to the next slide.
This is the only, no.
Oh, okay. All right. So we do have a non-thesis and a thesis track, and the courses go over summer as well. So you will take a few courses over summer. You can use, every student starts in fall. So you go to fall, spring, summer. And in the summer, if you are doing a thesis track, that is when you start your internship. So in labs, and then they can also, we are working on external internships, but when we started this program, that's when we had COVID hit us. So that's kind of pushed us back a little bit, but we do have many faculty members at Benedictine who will be very happy to have these students. So we hopefully would like to fill a a cohort for fall 2023.
Yeah, so speaking of that, we would like the students to have submit your applications, I believe, by June. Is that yes? Actually, I just realized I had the wrong date there. So again, similar to the other programs, the admissions requirements are goal statement, current resume, 2 letters of reference, official transcripts, and an admissions interview, and then also a 3.0 GPA. And then the prerequisites are in the red box: biochemistry, biostatistics, cell biology, and genetics. And again, this program starts in fall 2023, and it's cohort based. But again, we students need to apply. The deadline is June 2023 for this program, and all the courses are available in person, and then the credits are anywhere from 32 to 34 units, depending on if you do the thesis versus the non-thesis track. And then moving from there, these are some financial options, how to finance your time here at Benedictine University. So regarding financial aid, we encourage students to, if they need to, get graduate student loans, preferably through FAFSA. That's usually more reasonable to getting the student loans. Benedictine also offers interest-free payment plans for students. And then if you are an employee and your employer has either a discount or reimbursement, definitely reach out to your employers to find out what sort of discounts or reimbursements they offer for students wishing to pursue schoolwork. And then scholarships, we have the alumni scholarship. So if any Benedictine University alumni, it is a 25% off scholarship, off tuition. So that's definitely a really great scholarship we have for our alumni. And then additionally, any active or retired military or government or nonprofit employees, we have scholarships for those. And it's between 10 to 5% for the scholarship. And then becoming an Eagle. So we do prioritize, specialize that we do have individual advising. You'll meet with your faculty advisor as a source of resource and support. And then there for any, answer any questions about courses and registration you may have. Additionally, even though I'm the graduate admissions counselor, I'm happy to help point you in the right direction and get you in contact with whoever you need to be. Additionally, here at Benedictine, we offer an academic support center. We have alumni networking events, and then we also have the Office of Career and Professional Development. Some students don't always think that graduate students or even science students, that would work for them, but they are a great resource in doing resume checks, mock interviews, or even just headshots. I know that they were offering that this past week for our current students. And then we'd like you to stay in contact with us. So I just know that QR code, if you have your phone over it, you will be able to, it will take you directly to my bookings link, so you can go schedule an appointment with me. Additionally, that's my email address, phone number, and that's the link for our graduate events page. So you can always schedule time to meet with myself, schedule a campus tour, see other graduate events, and then see upcoming webinars. And then that is it. So any questions? I saw that there was a question answered in the chat. That Dr. Sarathy, even though it was answered in the chat, Dr. Sarathy, could you speak on it? The question was, is there any additional benefit to doing the thesis track?
So if you are interested in particularly working in a lab after you graduate with the MSMCB degree, particularly if you're interested in a graduate program like a doctoral program, I would definitely suggest that you go for the thesis track, because it allows you to experience how it is to be in the lab for long periods of time, because some it might not be something that some students want to do after they get a taste of it in the thesis track program. And the thesis track is only going to be for 3 semesters that they will be doing thesis along with when they are also in classes. But their lecture courses would be lighter during their during the 3rd, 4th, and 5th semester, because they would be spending a lot more time in the lab. And this gives you, kind of like an insight into what life would be if you choose this as your career. So, and you also learn definitely all the tools that you need to do this kind of work in future.
Thank you. And then Dr. Sherman, for the clinical exercise physiology program, can you talk a little bit more about the internship? Are students placed in the internship, or do students need to find their own internship?
We have affiliation agreements with the sites. And so I provide the list of who we have current agreements with, and then the students can work with those sites to determine which one is the best fit for them in terms of location, what they want to get out of that internship. So no, I'm not forcing them to any particular location.
Excellent. And then also with this clinical exercise physiology degree, does the student need to continue on to get a professional school degree, or is this a terminal degree?
The clinical exercise physiology is a terminal degree.
Thank you.
And many of the sites in the Chicagoland area require a master's degree for employment. Not all of them. There are some students that have obtained employment with just a bachelor's in exercise science or a similar major.
And then what do you feel the demand is for students with this degree?
The demand is very good. So all of the students that have come through in the past few years have employment. So there's more thus far. There's been more demand than supply.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And then Dr. Sarathy, how does this the MSIP program really prepare students for going on to professional school?
Okay, so you would be doing 5 courses each semester, and they're all upper level science classes. So all it prepares you by helping you with time management skills, and which is highly essential, of course, when you are in professional school. Students who have left the MSIP program and gone on to professional schools have always come back and said how much prepared they are for the rigor of professional schools like medicine and dentistry and so on. And, it gets them prepped for that. And they also get a good review of the foundations so that when they reach professional schools, they can focus on courses that are unfamiliar to them. And these courses like physiology and biochemistry and all of that, which are required courses in professional schools, come really easy to them. So they feel way better prepared than their peers. And, that definitely puts them in a better position as they go through these courses.
Thank you. Oh, we actually have a question in the chat. Is the guaranteed interview offered for professional school classes starting in fall 2024 or fall 2025?
So if you are in the program and you start in, let's say, spring 2023, you're eligible to apply to these schools for affiliation only in 2024. Okay. But having said that, we have students who are in the program who also apply, but maybe not use their affiliations because they've not completed MSIP. But they can ask a letter from me as program director that I can write and say, hey, these students started in spring, they're still finishing up their MSIP program, but they have applied for the professional schools, and this is what they would have learned completing this program. Right, and that's a type of letter that I do write to them, and many students have already gotten in. They don't wait that another gap year to get in if they meet all the other GPA requirements and MCAT or standardized testing requirements.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. If anyone else has any questions, we'll give it a few more seconds to pop in questions. If not, just know that here at Benedictine, we pride ourselves on looking at students on a holistic basis. We're just not like GPA. What is we look at what your goal statement is, and we like having the conversations with the student, hearing their background. And this is also why we offer the rolling admission. So we have a lot of flexibility. Like if for whatever reason you're having issues getting your official transcripts, reach out to us. There's always, we're always here for you to answer whatever questions that you may have about your application, and willing to work with you. So I don't see any other questions. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Dr. Sherman, Dr. Sarathi, thank you so much for joining us today and talking about the programs. And then our attendees, thank you for joining us. Like I said, this is recorded, and so we'll be sharing it out. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you, everyone.
Have a good day as well.